Alex Carter had always been drawn to the mysteries of the universe. Growing up in a small town in rural Montana, they spent countless nights staring at the stars through an old telescope their father had bought them as a child. To Alex, the vastness of space wasn't just awe-inspiring. It was a puzzle waiting to be solved. So when they heard about strange sightings near a remote desert area not far from home, curiosity got the better of them. The desert was barren and dry, with nothing but sand stretching as far as the eye could see. It was the kind of place where few people ventured, and even fewer stayed for long. But Alex wasn't like most people. Armed with a backpack full of tools, a water bottle, and a determination that bordered on obsession, they set out early one morning, hoping to find something, anything, that might explain the rumors. For hours, Alex wandered through the endless dunes, scanning the ground for anything unusual. Just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape, Alex noticed something odd. A glint of metal peeked out from beneath a thick layer of sand. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a piece of junk, perhaps debris from some old satellite or aircraft. But as Alex brushed away more sand, they realized this was no ordinary object. Beneath the surface lay a structure unlike anything Alex had ever seen. Its smooth, metallic surface shimmered faintly, even in the fading light. Strange symbols were engraved along its sides, patterns that seemed to shift slightly when viewed from different angles. The sheer size of it became clear as Alex continued digging. It wasn't just a fragment, it was part of something much larger. By the time night fell, Alex had uncovered enough to realize they were standing next to what appeared to be an enormous spacecraft. The discovery left Alex breathless. They had read about UFO sightings and alien encounters in books and online forums, but this was real. This was tangible. As they ran their fingers over the cool metal, a low hum vibrated beneath their touch. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but undeniable. The ship wasn't completely dead. It was dormant, waiting. Excitement mixed with fear as Alex considered what to do next. Should they tell someone? Call the authorities? No, they decided quickly. If word got out, the government would swoop in, taking control of everything. This was Alex's discovery, and they wanted to understand it themselves. After all, who else would know how to handle something like this? That night, under the glow of a flashlight, Alex sat beside the ship, sketching its design and jotting down notes. Their mind raced with questions. Who built this? How did it end up here? And most importantly, could it still function? Sleep didn't come easily that night, but Alex didn't care. They felt alive in a way they never had before, driven by a purpose bigger than themselves. Over the following weeks, Alex returned to the site every chance they got, bringing supplies and equipment to begin exploring the ship further. Each visit revealed new details: hatches sealed tight, panels that responded faintly to touch, and compartments filled with unidentifiable machinery. The deeper Alex delved, the more convinced they became that this ship held answers, not just about itself, but about the universe beyond Earth. It wasn't long before Alex made a decision that would change their life forever. This wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was a mission. They sold their belongings, quit their job, and moved closer to the desert, dedicating every waking moment to studying the ship. Friends and family thought they were crazy, but Alex didn't care. They knew they were onto something extraordinary. Little did they know, their journey was only beginning. As months turned into years, Alex Carter became a fixture in the desert. The once buried spaceship was now partially uncovered, standing like a silent sentinel against the endless expanse of sand. Every day, Alex worked tirelessly, piecing together the ship's secrets bit by bit. They weren't alone in this endeavor, though. Emma Lewis, a local historian with a knack for languages, had joined forces with Alex after hearing about the discovery. Together, they formed an unlikely team, each bringing their own skills to the table. Emma's expertise lay in deciphering ancient scripts and symbols, which proved invaluable when it came to understanding the strange markings etched into the ship's surface. At first glance, the rooms seemed random, but as Emma studied them closely, patterns began to emerge. She noticed recurring shapes and sequences that hinted at some kind of language or code. With Alex's help, she started cataloging these symbols, comparing them to known Earth-based systems. Slowly but surely, fragments of meaning began to take shape. Meanwhile, Alex focused on the ship's mechanical aspects. Inside, the vessel was a labyrinth of corridors, chambers, and control panels. Many areas remained inaccessible due to locked doors or damaged systems, but Alex refused to give up. Using tools scavenged from nearby towns and parts ordered online, they repaired broken circuits, replaced faulty wiring, and restored power to sections of the ship. It was painstaking work, often frustrating, but every small success fueled their determination. One breakthrough came when Alex managed to activate a dormant screen embedded in one of the walls. At first, nothing happened, just static and flickering lines. But then, images began to appear, holographic projections showing star maps, alien landscapes, and what looked like recordings of the ship's former occupants. These logs were fragmented and hard to follow, but they provided crucial clues about the ship's origins. From what Alex and Emma could gather, the vessel belonged to a species called the Cytherians, who had fled their homeworld centuries ago to escape some unknown threat. The logs also revealed why the ship had been abandoned. According to the recordings, the vessel suffered critical failures during its journey, forcing the crew to leave it behind. Whether they intended to return someday or simply left it for dead remained unclear. What was clear, however, was that the ship still held untapped potential. Its advanced technology hinted at capabilities far beyond anything humanity possessed. A clean energy source, faster than light travel, and even artificial intelligence. Alex grew especially fascinated by the AI system. Buried deep within the ship's core was a central processor that seemed to act as the ship's brain. After weeks of trial and error, Alex succeeded in reactivating it. A soft voice echoed through the corridors, calm and measured. "Welcome aboard," it said. "I am Eve, your onboard assistant." Eve proved to be an invaluable ally. Unlike modern computers, which required explicit commands, Eve adapted quickly to Alex's questions and instructions. It helped identify damaged components, suggested repairs, and even translated some of the alien text. With Eve's guidance, progress accelerated rapidly. Doors that had been sealed for centuries slid open, revealing hidden compartments filled with tools, storage units, and more holographic records. Despite these advances, challenges remained. Some systems resisted repair no matter how hard Alex tried. Others malfunctioned unpredictably, forcing them to backtrack and rethink their approach. There were moments of doubt, times when Alex wondered if they were truly cut out for such a monumental task. But Emma's unwavering support kept them going. She reminded Alex that they weren't just fixing a machine, they were unlocking a doorway to the stars. By the end of the third year, the ship was almost fully operational. Its engines hummed softly, ready to ignite. Its navigation systems mapped routes across galaxies, and its defensive mechanisms stood poised to protect against any threat. Yet, despite all their efforts, one question lingered in Alex's mind. What would happen if someone, or something, came looking for it? For now, the desert remained quiet, untouched by visitors from beyond the stars. But Alex couldn't shake the feeling that their time alone with the ship was running out. The ship was no longer just a project for Alex Carter. It had become a part of their life. Every day, they woke up thinking about it and went to bed dreaming of its possibilities. Emma Lewis often joked that Alex spent more time inside the alien vessel than in their own home. But Alex didn't mind. The ship wasn't just a machine. It represented hope. Hope for humanity's future. Hope for answers to questions people had asked for centuries. And hope that maybe, just maybe, humans weren't alone in the universe. As word of Alex's discovery spread, curiosity turned into attention. And not all of it was welcome. At first, it was small things. Locals driving by to catch a glimpse of the strange craft or asking questions at the nearby diner. Then came scientists and engineers, eager to see the ship for themselves. Some offered to help, while others demanded access, claiming they could do more with the technology than Alex ever could. Government officials soon followed, sending letters and making phone calls, hinting that the ship might be better suited under official control. Alex refused to hand it over. They knew what would happen if the government took charge. The ship would be dissected, studied in secret labs, and likely weaponized. Its potential to inspire and uplift humanity would be lost in a sea of politics and greed. So Alex kept the location hidden, sharing details only with Emma and a handful of trusted friends. Together, they worked to ensure the ship stayed safe, even as pressure mounted from outside forces. To protect their work, Alex began training younger engineers who showed promise. One such person was Ryan Miller, a bright but shy teenager with a passion for mechanics. Ryan idolized Alex, seeing them as a hero who dared to dream big. Under Alex's guidance, Ryan learned how to maintain the ship's systems, repair its delicate components, and interact with Eve, the AI assistant. Though Ryan lacked experience, his enthusiasm made up for it, and Alex grew fond of him, treating him almost like a protege. But the ship wasn't just changing Alex and those around them. It was also reshaping the way people thought about the future. News outlets picked up snippets of the story, painting Alex as both a visionary and a rebel. Some praised their efforts, calling the ship a symbol of human ingenuity. Others criticized them, accusing Alex of hoarding advanced technology that belonged to everyone. Debates raged online, with some arguing that the ship should be shared globally, while others believed it should remain Earth's secret until humanity was ready. Despite the noise, Alex remained focused on their goal, preparing the ship for flight. With Eve's assistance, they tested its engines repeatedly, ensuring they could withstand the stresses of space travel. They mapped out possible destinations using the ship's star charts, imagining journeys to distant worlds. Each success brought them closer to achieving what once seemed impossible, leaving Earth behind and venturing into the unknown. Yet, amidst the excitement, Alex couldn't ignore a growing sense of unease. The ship felt alive in ways they couldn't fully explain. Sometimes, when working late at night, Alex swore they heard faint whispers echoing through the corridors, though Eve insisted she hadn't spoken. Other times, panels would light up without being touched, or doors would slide open moments before Alex approached. It was as if the ship had a will of its own, watching and waiting. Emma noticed the changes too. "Do you think it knows we're here?" she asked one evening as they sat together in the ship's main chamber. Alex hesitated, unsure how to answer. "Maybe," they said finally. "Or maybe it's just reacting to us. Either way, we need to be careful." As days turned into weeks, Alex found themselves reflecting on what the ship truly meant, not just to them, but to humanity as a whole. It was a gift, a chance to reach beyond Earth's limits. But gifts came with responsibility, and Alex knew they couldn't keep the ship forever. Still, they weren't ready to let go. Not yet. For now, the desert remained quiet, the stars above untouched, and so Alex continued their work, knowing that whatever came next, the ship had already changed everything. Years passed, and the ship became a cornerstone of Alex Carter's life. It wasn't just a marvel of alien engineering. It was a beacon of hope for humanity's future among the stars. Ryan Miller, now in his early 20s, had grown into a skilled engineer under Alex's guidance. Together, they worked tirelessly to refine the ship's systems, ensuring it was ready for whatever lay ahead. Emma Lewis still visited regularly, helping decipher more of the alien language and piecing together fragments of the Cytherians' history. Life in the desert felt almost normal, as if the extraordinary had become routine. But normalcy has a way of shattering when you least expect it. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ryan stayed late inside the ship, running diagnostics on its navigation system. Alex and Emma had already left for the night, leaving him alone with Eve, the AI assistant. The hum of the ship's engines filled the air, steady and reassuring. Everything seemed fine until the lights flickered. Ryan froze, his fingers hovering over the control panel. "Eve, what's going on?" he asked, his voice tinged with unease. "I am detecting an external signal," Eve replied calmly. Her tone gave nothing away, but Ryan's heart raced. External signals weren't uncommon. They usually came from satellites or passing aircraft. But this one felt different. Before he could ask another question, the ship's screens lit up, displaying a message written in glowing blue letters. "This vessel belongs to the Zetherian Collective. Surrender it immediately." Ryan's breath caught in his throat. He stumbled back, nearly tripping over a toolbox. The message repeated itself, louder this time, resonating through the ship's speakers. Panic set in as he realized what was happening. The aliens were back. Outside, the sky darkened further, though not because of nightfall. A low rumble shook the ground, followed by a piercing whine that made Ryan cover his ears. Squinting upward, he saw shapes descending from the heavens, sleek, metallic ships gliding silently through the atmosphere. Their surfaces shimmered like liquid metal, reflecting the faint light of the stars. They surrounded the area, hovering ominously above the desert. Alex arrived moments later, alerted by Ryan's frantic call. Emma joined them soon after, her face pale with worry. The three stood together, staring up at the fleet of alien vessels. For a long moment, there was silence, a tense, suffocating quiet that pressed down on them like a weight. Then, a voice boomed from the largest ship, amplified so it echoed across the barren landscape. "We are the Zetherian Collective," it said, deep and commanding. "You have taken possession of property belonging to our people. Return it, or face consequences." Alex stepped forward, their mind racing. This was the moment they had feared for years, the moment someone would come looking for the ship. But instead of fear, Alex felt anger bubbling beneath the surface. Anger at the thought of losing everything they had worked so hard to restore. Anger at the idea that these aliens, who had abandoned the ship centuries ago, could simply demand it back without explanation. "We found this ship buried in the sand," Alex called out, their voice steady despite the storm of emotions inside them. "It was abandoned. We fixed it. If it belongs to anyone now, it belongs to us." The response was immediate and chilling. The lead ship descended lower, its underside opening to reveal rows of glowing weapons. "Do not test us," the voice warned. "This vessel contains classified information vital to our survival. Hand it over, or we will take it by force." Emma grabbed Alex's arm, her grip tight. "Don't provoke them," she whispered urgently. "They're not here to negotiate." Alex clenched their fists, torn between defiance and reason. They glanced at Ryan, who looked terrified but determined. Then at the ship, standing tall and silent behind them. It was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of everything humanity could achieve. Could they really give it up? Before Alex could respond, the aliens took matters into their own hands. Smaller craft detached from the main fleet, landing around the ship in a tight circle. Beams of light shot down, scanning the area. Alex knew they were outmatched, but surrendering wasn't an option. Not yet. "Get inside," Alex ordered, pushing Ryan and Emma toward the ship. As they ran, Alex turned to face the advancing aliens, their mind racing with plans. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The situation was dire, but Alex Carter refused to give up. As Ryan and Emma scrambled inside the ship, Alex stood their ground, trying to buy time. The alien ships loomed closer, their sleek designs glinting ominously in the moonlight. Beams of light swept across the desert, scanning every inch of the area. Alex knew they couldn't fight back, not against technology this advanced. But they could think fast. "Eve," Alex said sharply as they stepped into the ship, sealing the hatch behind them. "Can you block their scans?" I can attempt to disrupt their signals, Eve replied in her calm, measured tone. However, their technology is superior. Success is uncertain. Do it anyway, Alex ordered. They turned to Ryan and Emma, who were already at the control panels. Ryan, start powering up the engines. Emma, see if you can translate anything from those transmissions. They might have a weak spot. Emma nodded and began analyzing the incoming data while Ryan worked on the engine systems. The ship hummed louder, its energy core glowing brighter as power surged through its circuits. Outside, the aliens grew impatient. A loud crackle filled the air as one of their smaller vessels fired a warning shot, narrowly missing the ship. They're not messing around, Ryan muttered, his hands trembling as he adjusted the controls. What do we do if they break through? We don't let them, Alex said firmly. Despite the chaos, they sounded confident, almost defiant. This ship isn't just theirs anymore. It's ours too. We earned it. Emma looked up from her screen, her expression grim. They're saying something about classified information stored in the core. I think they're worried we've accessed secrets about their homeworld or some kind of weapon. Alex frowned. That changed things. If the aliens thought humanity had dangerous knowledge, they wouldn't stop until the ship, and possibly everyone aboard, was destroyed. But Alex also realized this fear could be used to their advantage. Eve, Alex said, can you create a decoy core? Something that looks real but contains fake data. Yes, Eve responded. I can replicate the structure of the original core and populate it with non-critical information. However, such an action will require significant resources. Do it, Alex said without hesitation. We'll give them what they want, or at least what they think they want. As Eve went to work, Alex focused on communicating with the aliens. Using the ship's communication system, they'd broadcast a message. We understand your concerns. This ship holds value for both our peoples. Let's talk before anyone gets hurt. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the deep voice of the Zetherian leader crackled through the speakers. You have 10 minutes to surrender the vessel. Fail to comply, and we will take it by force. Alex glanced at the countdown timer Eve projected onto the main screen. 10 minutes wasn't much, but it was enough. Inside the ship, the tension was palpable. Ryan worked furiously to stabilize the engines, ensuring they could make a quick escape if needed. Emma monitored the alien transmissions, looking for any sign of weakness. Meanwhile, Alex paced back and forth, thinking several steps ahead. When the timer hit 0, the aliens made their move. 3 of their ships descended rapidly, surrounding the craft. Heavy beams of light struck the hull, attempting to breach its defenses. Alarms blared, and the ship shuddered under the assault. But thanks to Eve's interference, the scans failed to penetrate fully. They're weakening, Emma reported, her eyes glued to the monitors. Their attacks are less coordinated now. Good, Alex said. Ryan, how are the engines? Almost ready, Ryan shouted over the noise. Just a few more seconds. Finally, Eve chimed in. Decoy core complete. Shall I present it as requested? Yes, Alex said, and prepare the self-destruct sequence, just in case. With a flicker of light, the decoy core materialized in the ship's cargo bay, sealed in a protective casing designed to mimic the original. Alex opened a channel to the Zetherians once more. We're willing to negotiate. Here's proof we haven't tampered with your secrets. They activated the cargo bay doors, revealing the decoy core. The aliens hesitated. After a tense pause, their leader spoke again. Retrieve the core. If it is genuine, we may consider sparing your lives. Alex exchanged a glance with Emma and Ryan. This was their chance. Let's hope they fall for it, Alex whispered. As the aliens moved to collect the decoy, Alex gave the order to activate the self-destruct protocol. If the aliens tried to tamper with the ship further, it would destroy itself, taking its secrets with it. For now, though, all they could do was wait and see if their gamble paid off. The Zetherians wasted no time retrieving the decoy core. Their smaller ships extended mechanical arms, plucking the casing from the cargo bay with precision. Alex Carter watched anxiously from inside the ship, their heart pounding as they waited to see if the ruse would hold. Ryan Miller and Emma Lewis stood nearby, equally tense, their eyes locked on the monitors displaying the aliens' movements. "They're scanning it," Emma whispered, her voice barely audible over the hum of the ship's systems. "If they find out it's fake." "They won't," Alex interrupted firmly, though doubt lingered in their mind. "Eve made sure it looks real. We just need to buy ourselves more time." Outside, the alien fleet remained on high alert. The lead ship hovered ominously above the desert, its weapons still trained on the vessel. For several long minutes, there was nothing but silence. No communication, no movement, just the faint glow of lights emanating from the alien craft. Inside the ship, the tension was suffocating. Finally, the Zetherian leader's voice crackled through the speakers. "The core appears intact. However, we will verify its contents before deciding your fate." Alex exhaled slowly, trying to steady their nerves. So far, so good. But they knew this wasn't over. The aliens weren't going to leave without being absolutely certain they had what they came for. And if they discovered the truth about the decoy, all hell would break loose. "Ryan, keep the engines ready," Alex instructed quietly. "Emma, monitor their transmissions. Look for anything that might tell us what they're planning next." Ryan nodded, his hands hovering over the controls. Emma leaned closer to her screen, squinting at the data streaming in. "They're running tests on the core," she reported. "It'll take them a while to confirm whether it's legitimate or not." "That gives us an edge," Alex said. "Eve, how much longer until the self-destruct sequence is fully armed?" "Self-destruct will be operational in 3 minutes," Eve replied calmly. Alex glanced at the countdown timer projected on the main screen. 3 minutes wasn't much, but it was enough, if they played their cards right. They turned to Ryan and Emma, their expression grim but resolute. "Listen carefully. If things go south, we make a run for it. This ship can outrun theirs, at least for a while. But if they catch us—" Alex paused, choosing their words carefully. "We can't let them take the real core. Not after everything we've done." Ryan swallowed hard but nodded. Emma placed a reassuring hand on Alex's shoulder. "We're with you," she said softly. "Whatever happens, we stick together." As the seconds ticked by, the atmosphere inside the ship grew heavier. Outside, the aliens continued their analysis, oblivious to the trap waiting for them. Suddenly, one of the smaller ships emitted a bright flash, a signal that sent a ripple of unease through Alex. Something had changed. "They know," Emma gasped, her eyes wide with alarm. "They've detected inconsistencies in the decoy." Before Alex could respond, the alien fleet sprang into action. Multiple ships descended rapidly, surrounding the vessel once again. Heavy beams of energy struck the hull, shaking the entire structure. Alarms blared, warning of critical damage. "Now," Alex shouted, "activate the self-destruct and get us out of here." Eve's voice echoed through the chamber. "Self-destruct sequence initiated. Countdown. 60 seconds. Ryan didn't hesitate. He fired up the engines, which roared to life with a deafening hum. The ship lifted off the ground, kicking up clouds of sand as it descended into the sky. Below, the Zetherians scrambled to pursue, their ships trailing close behind. "We're not going to make it," Ryan cried, his knuckles white, as he gripped the controls. "Yes, we are," Alex said through gritted teeth. "Trust me." With seconds left on the countdown, the ship broke free of Earth's atmosphere, leaving the alien fleet behind. As the stars stretched out before them, Alex allowed themselves a brief moment of relief. They had escaped, for now, but the fight wasn't over. The Zetherians would be back, and next time, They wouldn't underestimate humanity. The ship soared through the vast expanse of space, its engines humming steadily as it left Earth, and the Zetherians far behind. Alex Carter sat in the pilot's seat, their hands gripping the controls tightly. The adrenaline rush from their narrow escape was beginning to fade, replaced by a deep sense of exhaustion and reflection. Ryan Miller and Emma Lewis sat nearby, their faces pale but determined. None of them spoke for a long time, each lost in their own thoughts. "We did it," Ryan finally said, breaking the silence. His voice was soft, almost hesitant, as if he couldn't quite believe they had made it out alive. "We actually did it." "For now," Alex replied, their tone cautious. They glanced at the navigation screen, which displayed a map of nearby star systems. "But this isn't over. The Zetherians won't give up that easily. They'll come looking for us again." Emma nodded slowly, her eyes fixed on the glowing core at the heart of the ship. "Do you think they'll figure out what we did? About the decoy?" "They're smart," Alex admitted. "But even if they do, they won't find anything useful in that fake core. All they'll get is a bunch of nonsense data. It'll buy us some time. Time to decide what happens next." Ryan leaned forward, his expression serious. "What asterisk does asterisk happen next? Do we keep running, or do we try to fight back?" Alex hesitated, considering the question. Fighting back seemed impossible against a species with such advanced technology. But running forever wasn't an option either. Humanity couldn't stay hidden forever, not when the universe had already taken notice. For better or worse, the discovery of the ship had changed everything. "I don't know yet," Alex admitted after a moment. "But one thing's for sure. This ship isn't just ours anymore. It belongs to everyone on Earth. We can't let the Zetherians, or anyone else, take it away." Emma looked at Alex, her gaze steady. "You're talking about sharing it, aren't you? Telling the world what we found?" Alex nodded. "If humanity's going to survive out here, we need to work together. This ship proves we're capable of more than we ever imagined. But we have to use it wisely. No secrets. No lies." Ryan smiled faintly, a spark of hope returning to his eyes. "So, what's the plan?" "The first step is finding somewhere safe to regroup," Alex said. "Somewhere the Zetherians won't think to look. Once we're settled, we'll send a message back to Earth. Not just about the ship, but about everything. The aliens, the tech, the risks. People deserve to know the truth." Emma frowned slightly. "And what if they panic? What if governments try to take control again?" "That's why we tell everyone," Alex said firmly. "Not just leaders or scientists, all of humanity. If enough people understand what's at stake, they'll make sure no one abuses this. Besides," Alex paused, glancing at the stars outside the viewport, "this isn't just about Earth anymore. It's about our place in the universe, and I think we're ready for it." As the ship drifted further into the unknown, Alex felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. They had started this journey alone, driven by curiosity and determination. Now, they were part of something much bigger, a legacy that would shape the future of humanity. Whatever lay ahead, Alex knew they wouldn't face it alone. "Let's set a course," Alex said, turning back to the controls. "There's a lot of galaxy out there waiting for us." Ryan grinned, his earlier fear replaced by enthusiasm. "Where to, Captain?" Alex smiled faintly, their eyes scanning the endless sea of stars. "Anywhere. Everywhere. Let's see where the road takes us." With that, the ship surged forward, its engines blazing brightly against the dark void of space. Behind them, Earth faded into the distance, a small blue dot in a vast, uncharted cosmos. Ahead, the promise of discovery, and perhaps a new beginning, beckoned. For the first time in years, Alex felt truly free. The weight of responsibility still rested heavily on their shoulders, but it was a burden they were willing to carry. After all, someone had to lead the way. Someone had to show humanity that the stars weren't just a dream. They were a destination. And so, the journey began.